Okay, welcome back. Let's see whether this time I can share my screen. That would be nice. Yes, I think it does. Can you still hear me okay? Right. Well, thank you for waiting, and sorry for the hiccup. So we're going to get started right now. Hello, Ronald from Atlanta. Hello, David. And great. So I'll get started. So the version we're going to show you today is the upcoming version 2.4, which has a number of new features. Actually, quite a number of new features with respect to videos and communication in the beta channel, etc. I'm not going to go a lot over these new features, but just quickly, some of the things we've just done recently, maybe last week, is we've added some functionality around navigation. I'm going to talk about it. So quickly, the main features of this release is the ability to create a new kind of album called video bins, where you can drag and drop images and videos, and you can organize them in a specific order. It's like an ordered album if you want. And these albums, they can contain full videos, they can contain images, or they can contain sub-clips. So, for example, this is a full video, while this is a sub-clip of a video. And you can edit the sub-clips in the new video panel that lives here in the inspector. You can create sub-clips by going into the video and creating in and out points, and then you can reuse them in those bins. And you can export those things, and we have some export dialogues. Okay. I'm still sharing my screen. Someone says, can you not see my screen? Because I'm still sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. And now, can you see it? Okay. So yeah. So the video bin contains images, sub-clips, and clips, and you can export to DaVinci, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere. There's various options to do that, and we have new dialogues that let you configure how the export is working. So this is new. And there are a number of other things that are new with respect to images and videos. We've added a copy button, which is really handy. That's also a new feature of this release. Now you can copy a number of things from videos or from images right from the grid. The main thing we've added just last week is, and that was a popular demand, was for people who have lots of sources in Peakto. For example, here, say I have lots of catalogs. They all appear as a long list, regardless where they live and how well you have them organized on your disks. And this is a problem because, especially when you have 10 or hundreds of sessions or catalogs or folders, you lose completely the hierarchy. So we've expanded the the hierarchy in the sources. So before you would only see what are the volumes that you have referenced by Peakto. Now you can actually open them and you can see, for example, here I have some Capture One catalog in this hierarchy, and then I have some other ones in other hierarchies, etc. So you can see the hierarchies on disk, and you can, of course, either select a catalog from here or a group of catalogs, or you can even select a folder, which is a Finder folder. I can show that Finder folder in the Finder, and you can see there are 5 catalogs here that are in that folder. I only have added 4 of them, but if I attach all new catalogs under this folder, it's a new command as well. It will scan everything that is missing and it will add it. So it's actually much more convenient to work with things you have organized in a certain way in the Finder and do it like that. So, okay, that's a main feature that we've added. Now, let's talk about sharing. So, in the current version of Peakto, the one that is online, we've introduced what we called Peakto Connect, which is the ability to share your content over the internet or over the local network. And we've changed a little bit how the local network works now. I'm not going to go too much in detail into it, but previously, when you were sharing locally, it would actually reference a page that was on our server. Now, when you share locally, you just reference the local machine through the IP address. It's much more reliable, and it works much better. So sharing like that using Peakto Connect means that I'm sharing everything. And it's really a feature that is designed to help you access your content when you're, say, away from home or away from the office, and you need to access that content. It can also work within an office if you say that you have a dedicated machine and that everyone should have access to everything that is on that machine. So you would run Peakto on that machine. For example, say I have a Mac Mini that is dedicated to indexing all my content, and then essentially that Mac Mini would be accessed by lots of people using the same account, which is the account under which the connection has been started. So everyone would see everything. And while this can be fine for certain configurations, we also realize that there are a number of scenarios where we really want Peakto to serve, to work as a DAM, as a digital asset management system that can serve different users and for which you can set privileges. And this is what we've done in this release and in what we call Peakto Pro, which is a different licensing scheme for Peakto. So if I just open our store for a bit to show you what it means from the store point of view. All right, so you have the standard Peakto, which is the Peakto we all know, and then there is what we call the professional version. And in this professional version, you can add collaborators. Okay, so what is a collaborator? A collaborator is an extra person which you can name and that can have access, in which you can give access to a portion of Peakto. So the main differences between those two versions is the ability to invite collaborators in the Pro version, and is also, it's not available yet, but it's also the ability to invite unlimited free viewers. So when you add a collaborator, you pay more. You pay for the number of collaborators that you add, but the free viewers is a future feature that's going to be released probably during the summer, and it will let you invite, for example, customers to view and possibly download some content that you want to give them access to. So you will be able to share albums or collections or even sources if you want with those customers, set a date for which the link will expire, these kind of things. And these people will, you can have unlimited free viewers. They will just see a grid of content. They won't be able to do any annotation, well, they can download, but they won't be able to do any searches. Searches are reserved for collaborators. So all the sort of filtering search is really meant for collaborators. Okay, so let's see how this works. Suppose I want to share something with really the way it will work is I can, for example, select a source here which contains these many versions, images and videos. And I use the share with team. So I can create this source. It works also with albums. If I have an album here, for example, my next exhibition, and I want to share with the team, I can create a new share with this album. And if I click on that button, it will tell me, okay, you're about to share this content. It contains four assets, and then you can name the person you want to invite. So, for example, you would add an email. Let's add that email. So, and this is where the licensing kicks in, because you only have as many slots if you want to invite people as there are as you've paid for, the number of licenses you've paid for. And for this person that I've created, I can then set the properties of the rights that it has on the share that I've created. So, for example, I can say this person can download but cannot annotate, for example. And so I validate that change. Okay. So once you've done that, the person will receive an email. So, for example, I can show you an email that I've set up previously. I received that email saying, public remote, that's the person who is sharing, it's actually my instance of Peakto, has shared assets to look at, and you've been invited and you can join. So clicking on the join button will open the browser. And will let me just see. Okay. All right. First of all, I need to start my share because I haven't done that. I just restarted Peakto, so I need to start my server. So here I'm sharing on the public network. That means I'm sharing over internet. And if I go then click on that link, I'm going to get a page here, and I'm going to log in as that person. Right. So here, the object that I've just shared is my next exhibition, and you can see I can see those 4 items that are, let's just move that out of the way. I can see those 4 items that are here. So I have access to this album that I just shared. And if I click on any of those and I try to do things like change the star rating, you see I can't do it because I don't have the rights to do that. But I can download because the rights have been set appropriately for me to do that. As a user, as Aquatic Matt, so this user who was the recipient of the share, you see that I can see more things than just the album I've just shared. And this is because I've also invited Aquatic Matt to see other things. So if I click on that button here to see all the shares I've defined, I can see that Aquatic Mat is also part of this share called All Masters. And in that case, in this share, he has not the right to download, but has the right to annotate. So let's move to the All Masters source that was shared with me. And if I click on an image here, I cannot download the original. I don't have the rights to do that, but I can set the star rating or set the color and add a title. Right. So if I go back to my masters, let's do a search for in Tokyo. Actually, there is an image with that name, and that's just the image I've annotated, given a red flag, 4 stars, and that specific title. Okay, so you can see how sharing works for teams and the kind of rights that you can set up for those teams. Currently, and then I think we're going to go for Q&A probably. Currently, the web version is more limited, of course, than the Peakto version. There are a number of features that are missing. For example, in search, I can do prompt search. I can search for things, but I cannot do dialogue-based search. Metadata search is more limited. Filters are more limited currently at them, just on the main features. But we're going to move and add very quickly more features to that web interface, so that it becomes a usable and very usable interface for doing queries and finding stuff, annotating and collaborating. We have many plans for collaboration, the ability to start discussion threads on specific items, etc. But we're going to iterate on all those features over time. It's currently not decided whether the Peakto UI could be used for people who receive an invitation to share, whether they could actually see the portion of the shared area inside the Peakto UI. Currently, it's not. You have to go through it only. It might change in the future. Just looking at the chat to see. Okay. So regarding, yeah, on the Pro version, you can go month to month if you want. There is the same you have the same type of pricing for the month to month. You have the same options. You can go buy it on a monthly basis as well, or annually. And yes, regarding a strict IT policy, okay. Currently, when we give access over the, when you give access over the internet, we use a specific scheme to do encryption. We generate SSL certificates on the fly. We do a number of things like that. Yes, also, sorry, before we go into digging into that, it's very important to understand that everything I showed you before regarding sharing means that I'm actually, imagine I'm on my, I'm here on computer or on my phone accessing Peakto. Of course, because there is no cloud involved, I'm talking directly to this machine. So it means that this machine needs to be running, of course, it's obvious. It's a choice that we made to have a no cloud solution to do sharing. It means that machine needs to be running, which also brings us to the setup, ideal setup for running Peakto as a server. Having a dedicated machine that is not your laptop, that is not your main computer. If you're running them in an office, is probably the way to go. Having a dedicated machine, and we are going to publish some benchmarks about how well suited, for example, an entry-level Mac Mini M4 is for managing disks, NAS, etc., and running all the indexing on Peakto. It's a great machine to do that. So this would be a good setup, for example, having a Mac Mini and then accessing over the web. Now back regarding the policy. Okay, collaboration requires a dedicated machine. It doesn't require it. It's just that it doesn't. What it does is that it requires a machine to be running. So if you're collaborating with people and you have your own desktop computer as the server, it works as long as your desktop computer is on, it can also work if it's if you put it off, but then you have to decide on, okay, it's on during office hours or whatever. You can set it up the way you want, but the machine needs to be running in order to be accessible, of course, and to serve the media. It wakes up on network calls, so it can be asleep. That is something we've tested, but it has to be plugged in and running. Yeah, so regarding IT policy, there are a number of things, and we are certainly happy to work with those people to understand what requirements they have. We have tested a number of configurations using VPN, and there are some really good solutions that can be used to have a maximum security while exposing the Peakto server over the internet using a VPN. So we can make recommendations. Will there ever be a PC version of Peakto? Currently, we are not working on that, and given the amount of things that we've been asked to do and the things we are planning to add to Peakto, both for the collaboration, for the web. We believe that we can have a great web experience, which will then make Peakto work on a PC, because you would access the server from the PC, and it doesn't mean it means also that we would be looking into helping you ingest things from the web to the server. So these kind of things we are looking at. Just to say, we think that there is enough work currently for us to deliver a great piece of software. There is so much demand for so many features, both on the photo and video realm, if you want, that we prefer to concentrate on web plus Mac OS for the server currently. So regarding the recommended Mac, would you also be recommending a network attached storage setup? Yeah, that's a good question. We are currently working with a number of vendors, and we are also looking into testing some equipment, most notably testing, equipment from Synology, Knapp, and maybe Ugreen and others, to see what is a good recommended setup in terms of network speed, to have a combination of, say, a Mac Mini plus a NAS. Does it make sense, for example, to have a 10 gigabyte Ethernet on the Mac Mini and have a NAS that supports this kind of speed. We know how critical it is to exchange information, and you probably know, but if you don't know, I just remind you that when we index content, the content needs to be on the Mac, so it needs to be accessed on the Mac. So if you have a big video file on the NAS, in order to compute the thumbnails, we will actually have to bring it over. So it's important to have a good connection speed at the time of the first ingestion. I don't know if we answer all the questions about. Right. So the idea really about collaboration was also, and especially in the context of videos, is if we go back to a video bin, for example, and you are assembling what could be a future timeline for a movie, is be able to collaborate here and put some notes and some things on the objects, so that you could actually say, well, I like this shot, or I don't like this shot. I would, so for every one of them, you'll be able to add comments that will be shared and that people can access. So we are really committed to creating some collaborative space where you can exchange with your collaborators, and possibly with some of the guest viewers. Say, for example, if you use the guest viewer feature to share an album of, say, a wedding, and you want people to be able to pick some photos or make comments on things, this would be also a place to do that. You will be able to gather comments, and people will be able to put comments. So this is not done yet, but this is where we want to go. Okay. Thank you for the comment on speed. We've been working a lot on performance, and there are a number of situations where Peakto is slow. We know that. I can give you 3 examples. First one, if you're not running on an M series Mac, if you're on an Intel, it's going to be slow. Not in the ingestion, but all the AI is really slow. The second situation where Peakto becomes slow is if you have more than 1 million images. And again, it's something we are really working on to raise the bar of the number of content. And when we say 5 million or 10 million images, it's really something we want to achieve. And it might sound a lot, but if you transpose 1 million images in the space of videos, since we index frames of videos in order to do search, you get to 1 million images really quickly. If you have hundreds of hours of video, you get there. So we need to support that. And the last situation where it's slow is if you have a NAS that is not properly attached or configured, and you're just trying to ingest because it's going to bring everything over, so it can be really slow. But when you have a proper setup, we've really, and we are not done yet, but we are really put a lot of effort into making the ingestion super fast. Okay, 200K videos and picture. Yeah, 200K is you're going to start feeling a little bit of pain after 1 million, but we're working on it. Anything else? Any other questions? Does it make sense? Do you have any more questions about sharing? And about the Pro version? Okay. Just looking at the chat. Okay. Yeah, there is a question about creation of bins and subclips. This is not a feature that is reserved to Pro. Currently, we don't want to discriminate between Pro and standard based on features, especially in the video space, because there are a number of independent or creators that are using, say, really pro cameras, Blackmagic 4K, 8K cameras, and we want to be able to address those solo creators with a standard version. So creating subclips, creating bins, all these features that we want to replicate from the Kino app. That was an app that lots of creators loved. This is going to be in the standard version. Really, the differentiator with the Pro is on the sharing features, being able to invite guests, being able to share with the team, and then we do a pricing based on the team. So DaVinci Resolve, for example, is going to be in the standard and the Pro. We also have a strong push to add more formats, video formats like RED, RE, Nikon, and Nikon as well for their new RAW formats. So this will be in the standard version as well. Okay, Susan, well, regarding the features that you're lacking, please let us know to help prioritize what are the features that you need most, whether it's about search, whether it's about filtering. As I mentioned, we know that filtering is really is really quite limited at the moment in the web version, and it's and search is based on prompt. Sorry, so annotating as well is quite limited. You can annotate. Actually, this one is not live anymore. Let's get the other one here. Yeah, you can set title, captions. There are a number of things that are missing. You don't have access to all the metadata. Just let us know what are the things you need most. And yeah, okay, keywords. Yeah, keywording is not part of it currently. So there is a lot to do in order to bring the web version on par with the other version, and it helps us a lot if we can prioritize based on the things you need most. Anything? Tell us about the browser version. I don't know about it. Oh, the browser version is the one you see on screen here when you share or when you access via Peakto Connect. Here, I'm accessing here. That's the version where you essentially a grid. You can run searches. This is using the same search engine as in Peakto. It's the search that is based on. Let's select everything. It's based on prompt search. All right, so trying to find. So this is the same feature, and you get the same result as in Peakto. But we don't expose, for example, the search into dialogues. It's not done yet in the web. Metadata search is not at the same level as in Peakto. So, yeah. That's the web version. Is there anything else? There is a question about advanced integration in the Pro version. Did we miss something about that? Or did we answer all your questions? If you have any more questions, please let us know. Okay, yeah, audio file, that's a good one. It's almost next on the list. Regarding the type of things you'll be able to do with audio, of course, you'll be able to search in the transcript because we'll handle them as video files. Now, regarding adding tags to audio, we'll be working on it, like recognizing the type of music, the gender, like recognizing also maybe the beat, which can be also an interesting aspect of things. Yes, you will be able to do that. I can't commit on a date for that, but it's something we definitely need to look at. Can you show us the settings for setting up the browser version? Yeah, so the browser version is basically accessible from the share. As soon as you start sharing, you'll be exposing a server that can be accessed over the web. So here, for example, I'm sharing with this account. If I click here, it's going to open a web browser. And if I log into that with the same account, I'm going to see everything. So that's the Peakto Connect. I can do it if you want. So here it tells me that I'm currently logged in as a different user. So I'm going to log out and I'm going to log in as this one. Right. So here, what you see is exactly what I have here in Peakto. I go back to all my sources. Is exactly this because I'm accessing the Peakto server using the web interface, which is the admin account, if you want. So that's yourself. And it works on a phone. It works on any browser. So you have all your sources here. You also have all your albums, so I can see all my albums. I only have a few here. Okay, I can see all my sources, so you can see all your sources here, either by clicking here or by looking at, for example, my Adobe Premiere sources. Right. So you get the navigation experience and you get the search. If, on the other hand, you invite someone, this is the other situation where I'm not logged in as the admin, but I'm logged in as a team member, then you see only those items that have been exposed to you and for which you have some rights. So here I've managed a number of shared links. I've shared some albums, I've shared some sources with different numbers of people, and those people with, for example, this guy here, Aquatic Matt, he will see this album with these rights that he can download, but he also sees some other parts of my library, if you want, so to speak, with other rights, and I can set that up. And I can remove it from that link. If I just remove it here, now he won't be able to see it again. So I can create those shared links and invite a number of people, and the maximum number of people I can invite depends on the license I purchased. That's to summarize it. Okay. I hope we, yeah, thank you for for the congratulations on the NAB award. It's quite it was quite a productive show from our point of view, and we saw so much interest. It was really encouraging for us to see all those people who wanted that. Who wanted to have a front end such as Peakto for their media that they have in scattered locations. So it really made so much sense to be there, which was great. If we have nothing, no more questions, we'd be happy to bring this session to a close, and we'll see you in a month. I think it's the rhythm that we want to have for those live sessions. Hopefully, we won't have the hiccup at the beginning like this one, and yeah, we'll have quite a number of cool things to show you in 1 month, I'm sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your encouragements and for the for your continued support. And again, I don't say just to be polite, but please let us know what are the things you need most in terms of being able to do things on the web, using the web interface and the shared functionalities. Explain us what kind of workflows you have in mind that we don't support but could support. What would be the sort of game-changing things that you would be able to do with Peakto, with the sharing functions or with Peakto, the app itself, that we are maybe very close to do but we don't completely do. So we really feed ourselves from all this feedback, and you've been amazing for all that time. So yeah, we'd love to hear about that, and we'll respond. Thanks a lot for your time, and have a great day, great evening, or great morning, if depending on in which time zone you are. Thanks a lot, and see you in 1 month. Bye-bye. Oh, where is the forum? Alison, can you maybe answer that question? There is a desk. I think if you go to desk.cyme.io, then you can access our community. And yeah, I think. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So in the community portal, you can raise tickets, but you can also access the forum where people ask questions, answer, etc. So yeah, it's your space, and we go there every day. So we try to really try to answer within a few hours, sometimes even on weekends. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.